Now, if it's multiple people, because for some of you, it's like your sibling. Some of you guys have been really burdened with the responsibilities, like as a matriarch in your family, whether it's taking care of sick parents or like whatever the case is. And I just feel like some of you guys aren't bearing the burden anymore, and it's actually naturally getting the sibling who was taking advantage of all your hard work and everything you were putting in to step up to the plate and like do what it is that you're not willing to do anymore. Remember, I was telling you guys, like, the feminine energy, the divine feminine energy is pulling back, and it's getting the other areas of the soul to like be accountable, stand up and show up. But that dynamic plays with people. So whoever it is that is playing the feminine role and is withdrawing, it's getting the other people, he or she, the other people in their life to show up, stand up, be accountable, because it's just like, if collective isn't going to do it, it still has to be done. And it looks like collective isn't finna do it. So I'm just seeing a lot of shifts in dynamics, shifts in power, shifts in even like these shifts in relationship dynamics. Like some of you guys played a certain role in a relationship for the longest time, and that dynamic is shifting, and you're not playing that role anymore. You're not going to be the scapegoat. You're not going to be the degenerate one anymore. You're not going to be, the poster child. You're not going to be the like, there's just this sense of like, this role, this dynamic is shifting. Now, it doesn't have to be switching, meaning you're switching the dynamic with somebody. So, for example, you could be going from the breadwinner to the person who builds up the home from the inside instead of the outside in. You're doing it from the inside out. That could just be a shift in dynamic, not necessarily in like power. Do you get what I mean? For some of you, it's a shift with your parents. Like for some of you, your parent has had this like caregiver role over you that you are now starting to assume over them. But for others of you, it could be actually financial. So for some of you, your parents supported you financially for many years of your life. And your career, your parents are starting, somehow their income is starting to decrease for whatever reason. Or you can even be trying to convince them to go into early retirement because you can now take care of them. I'm seeing like even a switch in like the financial dynamic, who the caregiver is, who the provider is, who's the one who typically fits the bill. All of that is starting to shift too. If it's in relationships, there's been so much sexual energy. For some of you, the shift in dynamic is actually sexually. So for some of you that were typically like the dominant one in sex, like the aggressor, you're more submissive and you feel like you're being like dominant